Greetings, everyone, and happy Sunday, the 1st of November, during an incredible weekend that included Halloween and a blue moon. A blue moon is a very rare occurrence. That's when you have two full moons in the same month. And it's a magical, powerful time. It was a particularly auspicious time for me to have done what I did last month, because at midnight, after working literally just about round the clock for the last week, after weeks of preparing to get to the point where I would put the content together, I opened the second and third tiers in Patreon. This is huge for me. As you know, I am 66 years old. I am physically disabled. I deal ongoing with mental health challenges, which are maintained and taken well care of by my therapist and med manager. I take good care of myself. And right now I'm sitting, as you know, if you followed me the last couple of weeks, I took a fall because of my bad feet and a reaction to a new medication. I got dizzy for a second and I fell, and wow, did I do a number on myself. My chin was purple, which you can see in the last couple of weeks' videos. It's pretty much healed. My left foot was badly sprained, foot and ankle, and kind of, I forget exactly the words, but like a third level tear where there's actually torn ligaments. And it was enormously swollen, purple all over, and the pain has been, childbirth was easier. And I've had 3 children, so I know. It is, the nurse practitioner said sprains hurt worse than a break. And when you have torn ligaments, it's really bad. But here I am in this chair. Forgive the neck pillow. I have to lean back so my foot will be up with ice on it and everything. So hence the neck pillow. But I'm here. Anyway, so last night, it was such a celebration. I worked so hard on the content for these 2 new tiers, the second and third tier. I stayed with the first tier for the first 2 months on Patreon. It is what I consider my heart tier. It's only $5 a month, and it has tons of content. Coming out of my 40 plus years of writing, teaching, counseling, mentoring, making art, doing all kinds of things. There are journal exercises. There are morning coffee videos with me 5 mornings a week. There is just tons of content at the $5 level, and that will always be there. And I knew I'd be opening other tiers, but I didn't want to do it until I was really ready. When you're bipolar, and as I said, fortunately, it's pretty well managed now, but I will have a day here or there where I just need to be quiet. Now, that doesn't happen often. I am very present. I never missed a morning coffee 5 days a week the first 2 months, and I won't. I did a Sunday video like a couple days after my bad fall when I was in terrible shape. But I was here, and I intend to be here. I love coming to all of you on Sunday because Patreon is a women-only community. And I have to keep apologizing for that because all of my other work, these Sunday videos, my blog and website, across social media platforms, Instagram, 4 pages on Facebook, and, whatever. All of that is open to everyone, all men and women. But I have a history of hard things from my past that make me more comfortable when it's a closed, private community and very intimate interactions to have women only. So Patreon is women only. I always want to apologize to all the dear men out there, because a few were disappointed that Patreon wasn't open to men. which is why I do these Sunday afternoons, so I can reach out to everyone, because I do sincerely love and care about you all. And I want to bring the messages of my work to you. My work is all about trying to help and heal and bring content that is filled with compassion and loving kindness and gentleness. So I have been creating this character, Maisie. You can see some of her art at the top of my channel page or on my website. All of my links will be at the bottom of this post, including a post that I put up yesterday on my blog that after the 3 tiers were up, by like 1 o'clock in the morning, I did the blog post, which shows what all the 3 tiers are all about. You can also see that on Patreon, patreon.com/Maisie's World. Again, all links below. But the first level is sort of the entry level. Thank you. You're part of my community. I love you. Look at all the content I'm providing for you. It is a very wonderful level. It is becoming a very loving community. And people really appreciate, and I appreciate them, their financial support. Since I am a disabled senior citizen living on Social Security, Patreon is helping me get this work out, and it's important. Over 40 years of being a writer and everything else I've done, in the last 2 years, I have come to the most marvelous experience of drawing and painting Maisie, who is my alter ego, and her little one-eyed Chihuahua mixed dog Daisy, which is my Molly's alter ego, and a whole host of fun characters. And as I have said before, but if you're here for the first time, all of Maisie's work, because she is, like I am, agoraphobic. You know, the people who just don't ever leave their house even before COVID. But her message is, despite what looks like a life full of limitations to others, I, hence Maisie, have created a colorful, fun, joyful life right here. My house looks like an Easter basket. Every room is a different bright color. I live with my Molly and my 2 parakeets, Franny and Teddy, and it's just, there's so much joy. And so Maisie's, there are almost 40 Maisie paintings now. And while I will be sharing the process of doing Maisie's art on Patreon, the whole point of the support that I'm getting on Patreon is that I will be able to turn all of this Maisie art into a book. So, my dear patrons, I love you so much. I appreciate your support so much. You are making so much more possible for me than I ever dreamed. And I'm so blessed and so grateful. So that's the first tier. The second and third tiers I opened up last night, and they all work together. The beauty of Patreon is you can support at any level you choose, or all of them. There's no commitment. You can come and go whenever you want to. It is set up as a recurring building, and all you have to do is click cancel, and you're all out. Some people come for a month, some people come and go and come and go, and the bulk of the people seem to come and stay, which I really appreciate. And it's not only about the financial support, which I badly need and greatly appreciate. It is this beautiful sense of community that we are creating. And it is Patreon, after over 40 years of creating tons of different kinds of work, writing books, e-courses, counseling, mentoring, making art, so much more, and then coming to Maisie, I had all of this material. And Patreon has given me a container, so to speak, for all of my work, because Maisie's world comes out of my life and a lifetime of work. So the second tier, that's $10 a month, is the art tier, where you get to see me create Maisie's art. There will be still pictures of art in process. There will be short blog type posts about process and how I do things and what my thoughts are. I will share resources, but because I'm like, when you live on Social Security, truly it is art on a budget. And I have done tons and tons and tons of research to find materials that were both good enough, not the most expensive, not the cheapest, but good enough and affordable art on a budget. And I will share those materials and sources and how-tos with everyone at the second tier. Also, there will be video content. I know how to do short videos. I will be learning how to do longer videos that require editing. And as I work at this tier, I'll get more experience with that. I will be learning how to set up. I got in the first couple of months from a dear patron the funds to buy a large tripod. I'm using a sort of desktop one now because I'm laid up. And that's what I use to record my morning coffees. But she helped me get the large, tall tripod so that I can set it up so you can actually see, rather than looking at my face, you'll be able to look at my hands as I draw and show you how I paint, show you how I have created Maisie's extensive and very colorful palette, and so much more. So this holds so much content. And the third tier, I am so excited about, I'm about to pop. I taught creative journal keeping classes for 40 years. I have, as I said, created a number of ebooks and e-courses. My teaching is a very deep teaching to me, spiritual really, not religious, not any denomination or anything like that, but it's a very deep and creative spiritual connection. And last week, I did a two-parter. Part one was on my blog, followed by part two, which was here on my Sunday afternoon video on YouTube. And so that I could go more deeply in the video when I'm speaking to you, the blog posts laid the groundwork and helped me come to clarity about what the work was and what I wanted to say. And then I came to you here on video, and I was able to go deeper and expand. I loved working in that way. But the topic of that two-parter was the art of accepting what is. Now, that isn't some random topic. It is the heart, the ground of my Maisie work. Because since Maisie is agoraphobic and doesn't leave her house, just like I do, and I also have other things that I deal with, it is about accepting what is, your circumstances. Because that doesn't mean you're accepting limitations. That means you know exactly what your life is about, what is possible, what resources you have at hand, what your world is like, where you are now. And once you accept what is, there are infinite possibilities. When you see Maisie's art, you can't even believe all the things she does right in her house. And so she has accepted what is. And having done that, she has created a joyful, magical life. So on tier 3, I'm going to be doing what is both an e-course and an e-book in one. And the way that works, and I'm very excited about this because while I have created both kinds of things, I have never created something in this particular way. Patreon, you see, is all about people who like a creator and their work and want to support them, supporting them with a financial pledge as little as $5. The 3 tiers are $5, $10, and $20 a month. And I decided what I could do that would mean the patrons at that 3rd level are helping me create an ebook, which is like an ebook and an e-course all in one. But they are in on the act of creation. The way I create an ebook is a very artful process. It's not like a regular book that you read that goes on and on. I create each individual page as a standalone. It's artful, it's beautiful, it's thoughtful. There might be a journal exercise, there might be kind of a little essay or a teaching, all kinds of inspiration. There might be one word to focus on for that day. In other words, 3 to 5 times a week, patrons at the 3rd level are going to get a beautiful page and several pages a week and many pages in a month, so that it functions as an ongoing e-course for them while they're supporting me to create this ebook e-course. So they will get the pages along the way, and in the end I will have a finished ebook. My patrons at the 3rd tier will get the whole completed downloadable ebook when it's ready for free because they support me at that tier. And that ebook e-course will be actually for sale, first on my website and eventually as a book on Amazon, self-published. And I estimate it will take 3 to 4 months to create enough pages to make a solid book and course. And the way this tier will function ongoing is that there will always be an ebook e-course in project. When I finish one, I will start another one, and they are all coming out of the teachings and the philosophy of Maisie's world and work. The work is meant to help and heal and support and send love to everyone that finds it. It is my deepest, most heartfelt intention to devote my life to sending love and all of the compassion, loving kindness, soothing warmth to everyone who encounters my work. I will be doing this for the rest of my life as long as I have my wits about me and am physically able, which I hope at 66, even though I'm physically disabled, I'm pretty healthy. I hope it'll be a long time. I always kind of imagine I'll live to 103. So I've got quite a bit of work to do ahead of me, and I would love for you all to join Patreon women, all you all women. Men, the ebooks and e-courses that I create, they will be available for sale after they are finished being created. Patreon is kind of a laboratory for my work. I'm creating Maisie's art. I'm creating Maisie's book. I am creating e-courses, which are the teachings behind Maisie's world, her message, that I want to share because I want so much to help people. And these 3 tiers support one another and work together. The financial support is a godsend to me. And the greatest thing of all is that having lived a lifetime through a great many things, I spoke about them before. I don't like to speak too much about them, but very long-term abuse from 4 to 18. I've had accidents and injuries, some very serious. I've lived through my house burning down and hurricanes, and I mean, the list goes on and on. But finally, it happened. I'm here. I have written other memoirs. I don't want to write the down stuff, the sad stuff, the whatever anymore. Been there, done that, literally wrote the book. I want to celebrate all that is in my life, all of the things that I love, all of the things that I am profoundly grateful for, all of the things that bring me so much joy and happiness, and everything around and in between. And telling the story through Maisie is my way, so that it's not Maitri's memoir, and yet it kind of is, because Maisie's my alter ego, but it is, as I have said before, what I call a fantasy fiction memoir, because Maisie has fantastical creatures that enter her life. Some are real, some are imagined. Most of the ones there now are pretty much real, with a couple of exceptions. But there's an alien type creature coming that's absolutely adorable. I say she kind of looks like a combination of Yoda, E.T., and a duck. But that particular little being entering Maisie's world, the painting is Maisie bending over. This is a very short little funny looking creature. Maisie bending over with her hands out like this, and the little hands of the little alien resting in hers. Of course, Daisy is at her side, greeting the little alien too. And the name of that particular piece is We Didn't Know What It Was, but we decided to keep it anyway. And it's all about loving someone who doesn't look like you, who isn't the same color as you, maybe, who doesn't come from the same place you do, doesn't even speak the same language that you do, and yet your hearts connect, and you just love them for who they are. I believe very, very deeply in many of the causes that are important today. But I am a very shy person. I'm a very quiet person. I don't leave my house because of the agoraphobia and because I'm physically not able to anymore. My feet are so bad I can't even walk for exercise because I might fall down. I think I've said before, I have to wear one of those ridiculous I've fallen and I can't get up pendants, which was humiliating, but could be life-saving, and I'm grateful for it. So I can't go out and march in the streets for causes that mean so much to me. And I'm not a militant stand up on a podium shouting at people angrily. That does not mean that those things don't reach me and touch me and move me very deeply and have my complete support in whatever way I am able. And the way I am able is to create Maisie's world and share loving acts of kindness and generosity and support and love for those who aren't like us, even the animals, which are very dear to me. Maisie's world has at its heart and holds close all of those very important issues of the day. Side note, I hope you voted. I voted a week ago. We really have to vote this year. Our votes, as you know, matter now this year more than ever. So vote. And that was me, not Maisie, saying that, although that's what Maisie thinks too. I won't always in these videos be talking about Patreon. I'm not going to Patreon you to death. But it has become the most exciting thing in my life. Honestly, when you live alone, you're disabled, you don't and can't leave the house, it can be very, very lonely. My work, my animals always keep me busy. I don't sit around. I don't often really feel lonely. These last couple weeks, while I've been laid up and unable to move around and do all the things I usually do, made me realize how much I do, even though I'm here. I can't get out in my garden. I can't do all those kinds of things, and it gets lonely. Patreon has given me a community that I engage with every single day, several times a day. As soon as someone comments or messages me, I answer them right back. I provide content every day, 5 days a week. Saturday is my day off. Sunday I come here to you. Usually Sunday I also do my big blog post of the week, but I sent that out at 1 o'clock or so in the morning to celebrate the new tiers on Patreon opening. Patreon is a blessing. It is now where all of my focus goes because all of the work that I do has found a home, a way to be woven together all of a piece, a way to bring to you my heartfelt love. I genuinely feel it. This is not a YouTube voodoo flashy trying to get you to buy something thing. Yes, I'm sharing Patreon with you. And yes, I do get financial support that way, but the people who are supporting me get a lot in return for their support. And it is helping me bring work to the world that I hope will make a difference. And now, my loves, if you have watched and stayed with me to the end, I send you kisses and warm, gentle hugs. I love you all. I appreciate your being there so much. If you would like to support my work, but you can't or don't want to join Patreon, which of course is fine. I'm not pushing it on anybody. I'm just sharing it. There is a link to a tip jar at the bottom where you can make a little donation in any amount to help me keep this work going. I deeply appreciate it. It takes you to PayPal, easy peasy. And wow. Finally, just a last note. If you like these videos, if you could help me get my fledgling little YouTube channel going, if you would do a thumbs up to like the post, if you would subscribe to my channel, it's all right there under the post you're looking at. It would help me so much. You've no idea. So until next Sunday, I love you. Check out Patreon just to see what it looks like. Patreon.com/Maisie's World. I love you all. Have a great week.